On May 2, 2011, President Barack Obama announced the death of Osama Bin Laden, a moment that would be etched in history. The al-Qaeda leader, responsible for the devastating September 11th attacks, had been killed in a daring and meticulously planned raid by U.S. Navy SEALs. The operation, codenamed Neptune Spear, took place in a fortified compound in Abbottabad, Pakistan, a location that had been under surveillance for months. SEAL Team 6, an elite unit renowned for their precision and bravery, infiltrated the compound under the cover of darkness, navigating through high walls and tight security. A fierce firefight ensued, with the SEALs engaging in intense combat. Bin Laden was killed, along with several others who were in the compound. The operation, hailed as a significant victory in the war on terror, brought a profound sense of closure to a nation still healing from the wounds of 9/11. Crowds gathered outside the White House chanting "USA, USA" in a spontaneous outpouring of patriotism and relief. However, the White House refused to release any images of bin Laden's body, a decision that fueled skepticism and gave rise to numerous conspiracy theories. Many questioned the authenticity of the event, demanding proof of bin Laden's death. The decision to bury bin Laden's body at sea just hours after his death remains controversial. The White House claimed this was done out of respect for Islamic tradition. Critics argue that this explanation lacks credibility. Islamic scholars pointed out that burial at sea is only permissible in exceptional circumstances. The lack of photographic evidence further fueled suspicions. The White House stated that releasing images of bin Laden's body would be inflammatory. Without visual confirmation, the possibility remained that the raid had not gone as planned. The absence of a body and refusal to release photographs created a void filled with speculation. The lack of transparency emboldened those who questioned the official narrative, fueling a climate of suspicion. One persistent theory is that bin Laden had died years earlier, long before the famous Abbottabad raid. Proponents of this theory point to his declining health in the years leading up to the raid, suggesting that his medical condition was far worse than publicly acknowledged. Grainy video messages released by al-Qaeda showed a frail and aging man, sparking further speculation about his true state of health. Conspiracy theorists argue that bin Laden likely succumbed to his illnesses in the mid-2000s, possibly around 2006 or 2007. They claim the US government kept his death a secret for strategic reasons, to maintain a certain level of control, and to justify ongoing military operations in the region. According to this theory, the Abbottabad raid was staged to maintain the illusion of bin Laden's existence, providing a convenient narrative for the public and the media. A body double was allegedly used during the raid, and the lack of photographic evidence of bin Laden's body is cited as proof that the real bin Laden was not present at the compound. This theory highlights the deep-seated mistrust towards official narratives, reflecting a broader skepticism about government transparency and honesty. The belief that bin Laden was already dead underscores the need for greater transparency from those in power, as many people feel that they are not being told the full truth about significant events. Whether or not this theory holds any truth, it serves as a reminder of the importance of questioning and critically evaluating the information presented to us by authorities. Bin Laden was found in a compound in Abbottabad, near Pakistan's military academy. Could bin Laden have lived there without Pakistani authorities' knowledge? The ISI, Pakistan's intelligence agency, has a history of supporting militant groups. During the Soviet-Afghan War, the ISI funneled weapons to the Afghan Mujahideen. After 9/11, the ISI played a double game, publicly cooperating with the US while secretly supporting the Taliban. The possibility that the ISI harbored bin Laden fits into a larger narrative of Pakistani duplicity. The official account of Operation Neptune Spear is not without inconsistencies. Critics point to discrepancies in the timeline and conflicting reports about the level of resistance encountered. One glaring inconsistency concerns the duration of the firefight. Initial reports stated the raid lasted over an hour, but later accounts suggested it was much shorter. The decision to destroy one of the stealth helicopters used in the raid also raised eyebrows. The helicopter crashed inside the compound during the operation. While the official explanation was mechanical failure, some speculate it was intentionally destroyed. These inconsistencies contribute to a sense that the full story has yet to be told. In the years following the raid, mysterious deaths involving SEAL Team 6 members fueled speculation. In 2012, 17 members were killed when their Chinook helicopter was shot down in Afghanistan. The Pentagon attributed the crash to enemy fire, but some questioned whether the helicopter was targeted due to its connection to the Bin Laden operation. Several other SEAL Team 6 members died in non-combat incidents in the years that followed. The unusual number of deaths raised suspicions of a cover-up. Conspiracy theorists argue these deaths were part of a deliberate effort to silence those who knew too much. While there is no concrete evidence, the timing and circumstances of the deaths are undeniably suspicious. The timing of the raid, just months before President Obama's re-election campaign, raised questions about political motivations. Critics argued the raid was timed to boost Obama's approval ratings. The killing of bin Laden was a major political victory for Obama. The timing of the raid, coinciding with the 2012 presidential campaign, was seen by some as too convenient. They argue the Obama administration may have rushed the operation to benefit the president's re-election chances. While there is no evidence to suggest the raid was delayed or driven solely by political considerations, the timing undoubtedly played into Obama's hands. The use of stealth helicopters in the raid added another layer of intrigue. The helicopters, specially modified Blackhawks, were designed to evade radar detection. Conspiracy theorists seized on their use as evidence that the raid had other objectives. The fact that one of the stealth helicopters crashed during the raid fueled speculation. Some claimed the helicopter was intentionally destroyed to prevent its technology from falling into the wrong hands. The use of stealth helicopters underscored the clandestine nature of the operation. U.S. officials claimed a treasure trove of intelligence was recovered from bin Laden's compound. This included computers, hard drives, and documents providing insights into al-Qaeda's operations. However, skeptics question the veracity of these claims. They argue the amount of intelligence recovered was implausibly large. Conspiracy theorists contend the story was fabricated to justify the raid. The lack of transparency has made it impossible to determine the true extent and value of the intelligence. The killing of Osama bin Laden was a watershed moment in the war on terror. It was a mission that captivated the world and demonstrated the lengths to which the United States would go to bring justice to those responsible for the September 11th attacks. It marked the end of a decade-long manhunt and provided a sense of closure for many Americans. The streets filled with people celebrating, waving flags, and chanting USA, reflecting a collective sigh of relief and a moment of national unity. The raid, hailed as a victory for American military might, seemed to signal a turning point. It showcased the precision and effectiveness of the U.S. Navy SEALs and the Obama administration's resolve in combating terrorism. However, the legacy of the raid is complex. While it was a tactical success, it also sparked a myriad of debates and discussions about its broader implications. While it dealt a blow to al-Qaeda, the group has proven resilient. The death of bin Laden did not dismantle the organization. Instead, it adapted and continued to pose a threat. The raid had unintended consequences, fueling anti-American sentiment and raising questions about the legality of targeted killings. It intensified debates on international law and the ethics of such operations. It reinforced the Obama administration's belief in covert operations and drone strikes. These methods became central to the U.S. strategy in the ongoing fight against terrorism. The Abbottabad raid did not mark the end of the war on terror, but ushered in a new phase characterized by increased use of drones and special operations forces. This shift has had lasting impacts on U.S. military policy and global perceptions of American interventionism. A decade after the raid, the death of Osama bin Laden remains shrouded in controversy. The official narrative has been challenged by skeptics and conspiracy theorists. The lack of transparency and inconsistencies in the official account have fueled speculation. The questions surrounding bin Laden's death go to the heart of American power and accountability. The belief that the government is capable of deception erodes public trust. The search for the truth about what really happened in Abbottabad is likely to continue. Until then, the death of Osama bin Laden will remain a Rorschach test, reflecting the beliefs and biases of those who seek to interpret it.